discuss, no, is yung mga overhead, no, yung mga nasa taas, no. So as of now dito sa Pilipinas, ang may ano lang, ang may overhead or may underground lang na installation so far, no. Talagang nag-implement yung ano, yung underground installation ng mga supply lines at communication lines is yung sa Davao, no? Sa Davao lang po ngayon ang meron, no? Ang mahirap din po kasi sa underground is especially if the place is flooded area, no? So, maano siya ng tubig. So, ganun din mahirap ang gamitin ng ganung installation, no? So, kaya sa atin, we are always using the overhead. Ang disadvantage naman ng overhead when it comes to storms, no, may mga bagyo, tapos prone pa to vegetation, no? Na ano ng mga sanga, no? Minsan nga may yung last time, no, if nakaano kayo sa balita, may umakyat sa transmission line, no, or distribution line ng Meralco, no. So mga ano din, mga ilang araw din na mga umabot, no, ng halos 2 araw yung um, pagkawala ng ano ng supply ng kuryente, no, kasi may umakyat doon sa ating may umakyat doon sa ating tawag doon. May umakyat po sa supply line, no? Okay? May tanong pa ito sa chat, no? Tanong is, allowed po, no? Allowed po yung 570 ES plus, no? Allowed po yun, no? Ang hindi lang allowed is, kunyari, ang hindi lang po allowed is yung ano, tawag doon, yung 991 ES, no? 991 ES po yung hindi allowed. Okay? So, ano, naging choppy ba yung ano ko? Audio? So, yung ano pala, session 7 is hindi ko pa na-upload, no? Kasi bigla kasing ano, nagkaroon ng problema ulit yung connection dito. No? But, ngayong gabi siguro magiging okay na. So, ma-upload ko na yung session 7 kasama yung session 8. Yan. Okay. So, putol-putol pa rin ba? Natin. Okay. Yan. No? So, okay na. Okay. So, dito biglang umulan, no? So, sino yung mga taga Mindanao dito, no? Siguro kagabi ano kayo, experience kayo nung lindol, no? Yan. Yeah, no, lindol. So kaya nga medyo magkaroon din ng konting problema dito sa ano, connection dahil din sa lindol, no? Tapos ngayon umuulan naman. Okay, but nonetheless, so let's continue, no, yung ating discussion. Okay? So PEC Part 2 2020, no? Article 4. So unahin natin yung purpose, no? Purpose of this article. So this is to ensure practical safeguarding of individuals during installation, operation, or maintenance of underground or buried electrical supply and communication cables and associated equipment. So meaning, ginawa tong article na to for the safety of individuals, no, yung mga taong nag-i-install, nag-ooperate, at nagmi-maintain ng all underground or nakalibing, no, buried electrical supply system, including the communication cable, either that is for internet, for signaling, or for monitoring purposes, no. So basically this is the tawag doon, the same as Article 3 pero buried na tayo, no? Underground na. Okay. So scope, no? So it encompasses supply and communication cables and equipment in underground or buried system, no? So all electrical supply and communication cables, no? Kasama din na scope ng article na to is the structural arrangement including the extensions into buildings. Then included din yung cables and equipment primarily used for electric power utilization by utilities in their operational functions, no? Yung mga cables and equipment na ginagamit nating mga DO kasama sa scope ng article na to. So, ang hindi lang included is all installation electrical supply station. So, yung sa chapter 2, no? In case na mayroon tayong mga buried na mga installation, no, sa mga substation, so ang gagamitin na article is yung sa article 2 or chapter 2. So, yun ang gagamitin kasi hindi yan kasama sa chapter 4, no? Hindi siya kasama sa scope for chapter 4. So the application, so general requirements for application is found in Rule 114, yung sa chapter 1.1.4, na ibig sabihin nito is the application is if new installation, automatic na dapat sundin itong article na to. If existing installation, as long as it does not go beyond the minimum requirement of these provisions. So, pwede na hindi na siya baguhin yung existing installation. Pero if mas bababa siya sa minimum requirements, so mayroong required time, no, to correct, no, to correct the installation para masunod yung provisions ng chapter na to. Okay, so unahin natin yung general requirements applying to underground lines. Okay. So installation and maintenance. So those responsible for underground facilities must indicate their location. So dapat, no, if yung mga yung mga manhole, no, yung mga location na kung saan pwede pasukin yung underground installation, so dapat may indication if saan yung location. May way na para kahit mga pedestrian, no, or mga tao, they will know that that location is doon pwedeng pumasok yung mga maintenance officer, yung mga installation officers uh, to fix, no, or to install ng mga underground facilities, no? Then notification to owners, operator on nearby facilities affected by new construction or changes, no? So, ganun pa rin, same lang, no? If there is new installation or may babaguhin, so dapat meron pa ring notification. Then emergency installation of cables may be on grade if guarded and upper plate mark. So, ibig sabihin ng on grade. So, ibig sabihin level siya ng surface if that is on grade. So, hindi siya libing or naka-buried. But that is just only applicable for emergency installation. Tapos, may tamang marking at it is guarded. Okay. Next, we have accessibility. So parts requiring examination or adjustment during operations must be accessible with adequate working spaces, facilities, and clearances. So if there is part, no, sa ating underground system na kailangan ng examination or kailangan ng maintenance, no, that is the purpose of the adjustment, no, during the operation, so dapat meron siyang adequate working space, no, doon na naka-indicate, no, sa ating chapter 1, the proper working space on electrical equipment. Tapos may facilities, no, may tamang lighting so that maliwanag, no, yung part na kung saan mayroong magmi-maintain o may magtatrabaho. Tapos clearance, no, may tamang clearance to live parts. Okay. Then inspection and test. So mayroon tayong dalawang inspection and test na gagawin. When in service, so initial compliance with safety rules upon being placed in service. So dapat i-test siya if it is following the safety rules, no? Bago siya i-connect sa grid or padaanan ng supply. Then accessible lines and equipment expected at intervals deemed necessary by the responsible party, no? So yung inspection and testing nito if under operation na yung ating line is now dependent to the distribution utility based on their experience, no? So sa kanang PMS program, no, the preventive maintenance program. Then practical tests conducted when necessary to determine the required maintenance. No? So there must be a regular testing, no? So yung if in case merong lumabas na ano na diferensya during the testing, no? During the testing. So ang gagawin is yung result nun will be the basis now if anong gagawin na maintenance. Okay? Then inspection records. So conditions or defects affecting code compliance. No, yung inspection hindi siya sumunod sa ating code. If not promptly corrected, recorded and maintained until corrected. No? So hanggat hindi naaayos no yung defect or yung condition na that is unsafe and that is non-compliant with the code no sa technical code so i-record yun siya hanggat na corrected na, no? Kasi in case of emergency, makikita dun sa record na alam na ng ng maintenance officer or ng qualified person na nakalagay doon na may problema yung system, no? Hindi lang agad na correct, no? Then corrections, so lines and equipment with conditions or defects endangering life or promptly repaired, disconnect or isolated. So dapat if that defect or that condition can endanger life either doon sa mga gagamit or doon sa magmi-maintain or the mga qualified persons, so it must be repaired immediately, no? If hindi siya agad ma-repair, then it must be disconnected to the system tapos i-isolate. Then other conditions or defects designated for correction. So if a certain defect is not hindi naman siya pwedeng maka-endanger sa life, so yun lang, i-record lang siya until na there will now be the schedule for preventive maintenance no, to correct that minor defects or abnormality. Okay, so lines infrequently used, no, yung mga hindi masyadong ginagamit na mga linya, no? Tawag diyan is dormant lines. So meron din sa overhead, meron din sa underground, no? So before siya gamitin, no, or lagyan siya ng power or supply, it shall be inspected or tested. So bago natin siya lagyan ng supply kahit pa um, 1 month ago lang siya kinat, no? Tapos ngayon gagamitin na ulit. So ang gagawin is it must be tested no before i-connect no ulit sa grid. Okay. Then lines temporarily out of service. So handling and engagement of lines temporarily out of service shall be managed appropriately and be maintained in safe conditions. So yung mga temporary lines no if not in use so it is required to be handled safely either ay ano siya i-isolate or i-guarded or it must be secured enough or it must be cut off no from the main supply. Then lines permanently abandoned. So abandoned lines and equipment must be removed. So ito talagang i-remove following established safety guidelines. So if lines are not in use, no, hindi talaga siya pwedeng magamit, defective na, no, or mga wires na talagang yung wires is deteriorated na, yung mga supply line or the communication line, so it must be removed. Tapos during the removal, so safety guidelines must be followed to avoid accident din doon sa mga magre-remove ng line. Okay. So grounding of circuits and equipment, no? So talagang mahalaga yung grounding when it comes to underground, no? Underground supply lines and communication lines, no? Kasi nasa lupa tayo, no? It is considered as wet location because there will be an accumulation of moisture, no? Sa mga underground installations. So kaya importante yung grounding. Okay. So grounding methods. So grounding methods detailed in Article 1.4 shall be followed, no? So na yung grounding of all the electrical circuit, no, pertaining to outside installation, ang pinapalo talaga is yung Article 1.4, no, wherein mayroon siyang tamang banding, no, all metal parts are connected by a wire or a conductor. Tapos continuous ang grounding, so walang putol. So yan yung pinaka-summary ng Article 1.4. So yan din yung ifa-follow when we are going to have the grounding on our underground supply lines and communication lines. Okay, so conductive parts to be grounded. So lahat ng mga cable sheets, shields, except for conductor shields, equipment frames, cases, and conductive lighting poles must be effectively ground. No, so lahat ng mga metals, no, must be grounded. So conductive material ducts and risers enclosing electric supply lines or exposed to open supply conductors should be grounded. No, yung mga ducts, yung mga risers, yung mga hagdan, all must be grounded also. Exception is does not apply to parts 2.45 meters or above accessible surface or are isolated or guarded. So kunyari 2.5 meters yung kanyang distance from the surface papunta sa baba. So it is not required na i-ground yung yung mga metal parts, no? Tapos pwede din na wala siyang grounding as long as it is isolated and it is guarded. Okay. So circuits, no? So circuits ng ating mga supply lines. So neutrals natin, primary, secondary, and service neutrals along with common neutrals must be effectively grounded, no? So if you have our primary lines, no, for our transformer, so dapat naka-ground. Secondary must be also ground, including the service neutrals yung papasok sa bahay, no, or sa consumer side, no, must be neutral. Neutral must be grounded. Then exception, so exceptions for circuits designed for ground fault detection and impedance current limiting device. So if our circuit, no, is used, no, to detect ground fault or to be installed with an impedance current limiting device, so it is not necessary na i-ground siya. Okay, so other conductors. So other conductors other than neutrals intentionally grounded must be effectively grounded. So if our grounding system is our grounding wire must be grounded, no, must be connected to ground, no? Tapos yung yung neutral, no, or yung common point ng ating system, if we will have a three-phase Y system, so it must be grounded also. Okay, so surge arresters. So surge arresters must be effectively grounded. So all surge arresters must be connected to the ground. Okay, then use of earth as a part of circuit. So supply circuit couldn't be designed to use the earth as the sole conductor. So hindi ibig sabihin kasi underground siya tapos yung metal part natin nakadikit na doon sa sa earth or nakaano na doon sa earth, nakalibing na siya, ibig sabihin grounded na yon. So hindi yun acceptable. So you must have a wire na yun yung gagamitin as the grounding system, no? So tapos mayroon pa ring grounding electrode. So the exception for that one is the monopolar operation of a bipolar HVAC, a high voltage DC system, no? Yun lang, no? So that is for emergency unlimited maintenance period, no? Kasi yung ating high voltage DC system, so yung alam natin yung DC is lang yan siya, positive negative, no? So we could have the negative as our permanent uh, grounded, no, ground wire, pero the code only allows that one for emergency. Now, for normal operation, so we must have our own grounding system, no? So yung ating mga grounding conductor, tapos meron tayong grounding electrode, kahit pa yung ating buong system is nakalibing na sa earth. So hindi pwedeng gamitin ang earth as the sole grounding conductor or as the wave, no, para magka-connect yung mga grounding ng bawat equipment natin at bawat line. So dapat laga mayroon pa ring bonding at mayroon pa ring grounding conductor. Then communication protective requirements, no? So this is now for the communication lines. So when required, communication apparatus handling by a non-qualified persons connected to lines subject to potential risk. So permanent connection to lines exposed to lightning, no? So yung mga pwedeng matama ng kidlat. Supply conductors with voltage over 300 volts. Transient ground potential rise exceeding 300 volts. Tapos meron siyang steady state induced voltage with potential for personal injury. No, sa sobrang taas ng kanyang induced voltage, so yung mga nandun sa tao na nag-ooperate or nagmi-maintain ng line is meron siyang risk, no, na makuryente sa sobrang taas ng induced voltage, no. Tapos ito naman is the line to ground voltage is lumagpas ng 300 volts. Tapos yung supply conductors natin, yung mismong line to line is over also 300 volts. So pag ganyan, so there must be a permanent communication lines para yung mga tao na nandun is they'll be able to signal, no, yung mga taong nasa taas, no, na mayroon ng emergency. Okay. So means of protection. So aside from the communication system, so meron, the communication sa taas, meron din silang mga gagamitin ng mga protection system, no? So it must have ensuring the insulation can withstand to the expected voltage. Tapos pag ganun din, no, we go now to our protective device. We will use surge arrestor, auxiliary arrestor, drum coils, neutralizing transformer, and isolating device under severe conditions. Okay, so if there is mataas-taas na, no, induced voltage, so walang nakalagay na detailed rule, no, for supply line influence or communication line stability for induced voltage, no. Ang gagawin lang is the procedures is recommended, no, to minimize steady state voltage induced from approximate facilities. So the procedures, no, which will form by the distribution utility company. Then advance notice also will be given to the operators of proximate facilities to prevent adverse effects from new constructions or changes. For example, meron tayong system na dumadaan sa sidewalk. Tapos may part do sa sidewalk na merong building, no? Tapos sa taas na induced voltage, it may cause yung kanilang entrance na maging grounded or magkaroon ng konting shock yung mga customer. So there must be an advance notice, no, to the facility na ito pwede itong mangyari when in case na matamaan ng kidlat yung ating linya, no, or yung mga or tawag doon or nagkaroon ng ground fault, no, doon sa ilalim ng ating underground supply system. So dapat merong notice, no, so mga owner at mga businesses, no, adjacent to our underground supply line. Okay. Then underground conduit system. So of course, if our system is underground, so dapat nakalagay yan sa raceway. So either that is a conduit system or a built-in armored cable or a raceway itself. No, dito it is advisable to have our system underground, no, supply system to be um, enclosed, no, in a conduit system. Okay, so conduit system should minimize disturbance and avoid direct placement over or under subsurface structure. So ibig sabihin nito, so if our line will go um, below, no, under, no, sa ibaba ng isang building, so as much as at possible dapat walang tatamaan na structural support, no, walang tatamaan na footing, walang tatamaan na poste, no, or underground support ng building. So that is to avoid causing structural stress, no, doon sa building, no. Baka dahil doon dadaan yung ating ano, yung ating routing, no, yung ating conduit system. So yun pa maging ano, reason, no, for the building to collapse, no. Then bend requires a sufficient large bending radius to limit cable damage. So the bending radius, no, usually that is 8 times the diameter of the wire, no, depending on the type of wire. So makikita yan sa PEC part 1, which we'll be discussing as we go on with our review. So dapat sufficient, no? So hindi pwedeng i-shortcut yung bending radius when it comes to underground supply lines. Okay. The natural hazards. So routes through unstable soils or corrosive environment should be avoided. So if our supply line will go to an unstable, no, unstable land, no, or dun sa mga lugar na mayroong mga high concentration of corrosive, no, chemicals. So hindi pwede natin ipadaan doon. So yung mga unstable soil, no, iba ang pinaka-common na nito is yung mga fault line, no. So if we have our supply system, underground supply system na doon na magkakaroon ng part na doon magdadaan, no, sa fault line. So i-avoid natin 'yon, no. So we must reroute our underground system na hindi dadaan, hindi ko-cross or walang part na dadaan sa ating unstable soil or corrosive environment. So construction in such soil should be minimize movement or corrosion. Okay. So highways and street conduit under roadway should be in shoulder or within the lane of traffic. So ibig sabihin nito, ating underground system must be on the shoulder or on the sidewalk itself. So it is not advisable to cross, no, across the highway, no. So tatawid, no, sa kabila. Hindi, that is not advisable. That is not recommended ang under PEC part 2. So bridges and tunnels, conduit system should limit damage by traffic and allow safe access for inspection or maintenance. If our conduit system is nasa ano, sa ilalim ng tulay or nasa tunnel, so it must be installed enough, no, para hindi siya madaling ma-damage. Kunyari, if ever masagaan siya ng ano, masagasaan siya ng truck, hindi basta-basta magigiba yung ating conduit system, or it is placed below the roadway, or below the bridge, na talagang hindi makakaroon ng way para maano siya, maapektahan siya ng ano, sasakyan, no, ng mga truck. But also it is safe enough na pwede ma-inspect at ma-maintain ng ating mga qualified personnels. So crossing railroad tracks. So dito na sa mga trend, no? So the depth of conduit under rails is specified. So ito yung mga depth. So straight railway, no, yung mga railway na dadaan din sa mga street, no? So not less than 900 mm below the top of the rails. So 900 mm from the surface of our rails. Railroad, no, yung walang dadaanan na street, tapos pure na siyang na riles. So that is 1.27 meters below the top of the rails. So the exception may be considered by agreement, no? No, so yung by agreement dito is between the railroad company and the distribution utility company. But the conduit protection must not extend above the ballast section. Ibig sabihin, yung mismong conduit system hindi na siya pupunta na magiging part na siya nung structure ng railway. So yan yung ballast section, no? Okay, so submarine crossing. So ito pag nasa nasa dagat, no? Routes should be protected from tidal action or currents. So it is must be protected by wave, no? Yung mga flow ng water, so the tidal action, no, yung the low tide and high tide. Tapos yung current, no, yung flow ng water. So avoid locations where ships normally anchor, no? So yung mga lugar na kung saan madalas doon nag-anchorage yung ating mga ships, no? Kunyari, if you have an underwater cable system, so we must always avoid locations na malapit sa pantalan because the anchor itself must may cause, no, na yung ating wire or yung mismo ating conduit system is masira, no, madrag siya ng anchor. Key points. So bending radius for conduit best to limit cable damage. So depth requirements for conduit under railway track, street railway, and railroad. So that is 900 mm for streetway and 1.27 meters for railroads. So the minimum depth for submarine crossing under rails is the only depth for that one or hinihingi na depth is hindi tayo dadaan sa mga part, no, ng ocean na kung saan may madalas na mag-anchor na mga ship. Okay, so separation from other underground installation. So dito if we have yan supply system plus the communication system. So ano yung kanilang separation? So the separation is measured center to center, no? Kasi yung clearance that is surface to surface. So adequate separation to permit maintenance without causing damage. Yan. So the separation is needed para if in case we will do maintenance, so it will not cause damage kasi sobrang sikip, no? So dapat adequate siya para makapagtrabaho yung mga maintenance officer. Crossing structure requires a separation to limit damage determined by the parties involved, no? So if yung mga structure natin o yung equipment natin is passing, no, through a railroad or through a street, so dapat we will merong enough separation, no, as agreed upon by the owner of the road, no, or the government agency na gagawa sa road, tapos doon sa distribution utility company yung nagmamay-ari ng underground supply system. So conduit crossing manhole, vault or subway tunnels roof may be directly supported with agreement. So electrical supply communication conduit system separation. So yung ating electrical supply na conduit at communication na conduit, ano ang kanilang separation, no? The distance center to center between them. So communication conduit separated by supply conduit by, so if concrete, no, concrete yung ating ginamit, that is 75 mm. If masonry, 100 mm. So that is center to center ng dalawang tubo, no? So 100 mm. If well tamp earth, no, lupa na talagang maayos yung pagka tamp sa kanya, no, tamper sa kanya. So that is 300 mm center to center. Exceptions, so there are exemptions, nakadepende yan sa mutual agreement ng nagmamay-ari ng electrical supply line at ng conduit system, provided that it must not fall below the lowest separation, which is the 75 mm. So hindi pwede na sabihin nila, sige, ano na lang, 60 mm, hindi pwede. Dapat hindi ka bababa sa 75 mm. Then sewer, sanitary, and storm, no? So parallel installation over sewers may be done with mutual agreement. So ano ibig sabihin nito? For example, meron kang tubo for the electrical supply line, tapos may tubo ka for the community sewer system. So their separation must be in agreement, no? So yung nagmamay-ari ng electrical supply line at yung nagmamay-ari ng community sewer system, mag-uusap sila if ano yung kanilang acceptable separation na separation na distance, no? Conduit crossing a sewer should be designed for suitable support on each side to avoid direct load transfer, no? So dapat if our conduit is on a sewer system, so dapat meron siyang sariling support para hindi hindi para yung support niya is hindi doon hindi niya kukunin doon sa support ng sewer system. Okay, so water lines. So conduit installed away from water mains to protect from breaks, no? So yung tawag doon, yung water line natin at yung ating conduit for the electrical supply line communication system must be um, mayroon siyang malayo siya, no? So it is not specified but it is away, no, malayo. So later merong mga part sa chapter na talagang inisa-isa yung yung distance between the conduit, yung tubo para sa electricity at yung tubo para sa tubig. So that is depending on the voltage, no? Tapos if anong gagamitin na tubo, no? Crossing a water main requires suitable support to prevent direct load. So katulad pa rin, no? So dapat merong sariling support yung ating conduit na magko-cross to the water main. So gas and flammable material lines. So the radial separation, no? So when we say radial separation, no, ang kanyang distance, no, from its radial perimeter, no, is 300 mm. So not less than 300 mm. So no entry in the same manhole, handhole, or vault with gas lines. So ibig sabihin hindi pwede ipagsama yung entry para sa ating electrical supply system at sa ating mga system for the LPG or yung mga part, no, ng underground system na mayroong mga lines, no, for flammable gases. Okay, so steam lines, no? Conduit installation should limit detrimental heat transfer, no? So dapat yung ating line should not be near enough to pipe na nakikerry ng mga steam, no? No steam. Sa atin it is not very yung provision na to is not acceptable or is not applicable kasi wala naman tayong pipe na nakikerry ng steam. So nangyari yan if we have a geothermal power plant, no? Pero in a usual setting natin, kasi yung ating geothermal is mga geothermal power plant is bihira lang dito, ano? Pero the common is nasa tayo sa consumer side, sa distribution side, so wala naman tayong steam pipelines, no? So ang lang is hindi siya ganun kalapit para yung mismong tubo natin na na kung saan nandoon yung ating supply system will be heated, no? Kasi sobrang lapit niya doon sa sa steam pipeline. Yan. So kaya meron siyang adequate separation to limit heat transfer. Excavation and backfill. So trench. So bottom of the trench should be undisturbed, damp, or relatively smoothen yung ating earth. Then the conduit laid on a protective layer of clean, damp backfill during excavation. So dapat level yung ating surface pag ilalagay na natin yung ating mga conduit for the underground supply system. So key measurements, so separation requirements for electrical supply and communication conduit system. Then the radial separation at least 300 mm for gas lines. Tapos measurements for separation from water mains including suitable supports requirement. Then the quality of backfill. So backfill must be free of materials that could damage the conduit system. So dapat yung itatabo natin sa ating conduit must be free from materials na pwedeng ma-damage yung ating conduit. Then recommended 150 mm zone around the conduit should be free of solid materials greater than 50 mm in dimension. So ibig sabihin, if ililibing na natin yung ating yung ating conduit, tatakpan na natin ng lupa. So dapat 150 from the surface of the pipe. Dapat yung ilalagay natin doon o yung itatabo natin doon na lupa, dapat walang solid material na ang kanyang diameter is greater than 50 mm. Tapos wala ding sharp edges. Solid materials greater than 200 mm in dimension in backfill should be adequately compacted. So ibig sabihin yung mga medyo malaki yung diameter, so it must be compacted or pounded enough para lumiit ang kaniyang diameter. Okay, so ducts and joints. So duct materials. So corrosion resistant materials suitable for the environment. Now, if we're going to use ducting no sa ating underground system, so dapat it must be stable enough for corrosive environment. So designed to prevent cable faults from damaging the conduit and adjacent ducts. Okay, so the conduit system designed for ducts and joints. So it must withstand external forces as specified by this loading. So impact loading reduce covers so which is greater than or equal to 90 mm no yung kaniyang impact loading no yung kanyang thickness. So that is 900 mm para hindi 90 mm. Then internal duct surface no free of sharp edges or bores to avoid damaging the supply cable. Yan. Okay, then restraint no conduit including terminations and bends should be suitably restrained. So dapat ano siya naka-secure siya na if in case there is vibration, hindi din siya mag-move. So methods include backfill, concrete anchors, or other means to maintain design position under various stresses. So installation, so for joints, duct joints designed to limit solid matter entry, ensuring a smoother interior surface to prevent cable damage during pulling. So if we are going to have joints no sa ating conduit or sa ating ducting, so dapat it is designed that walang mga solid material na pwedeng mag-entry doon sa ating connecting joints. Okay, so external coated pipe, no? If our pipe is external coated, so the coating required under certain conditions. So dapat ang kanyang coating is also applicable on the environmental conditions, no? So coating must be corrosion resistant, continuous, and intact. So inspection and testing before backfilling to prevent damage. So dapat before siya tabunan, so dapat i-inspect mo natin yung coating kasi baka paglagay ng lupa, no, it will be damaged or there will be a reaction, no? Kasi hindi suitable yung type of coating na ginamit natin at that certain environmental condition. So building walls, no, if our conduit system will transverse into a building walls, so it will requires internal and external seals to limit gas entry. So dapat naka-seal siya. Seals may be supplemented by gas venting device to prevent positive gas pressure build up. Okay. If bridges, no, conduit in bridges should be accommodate expansion and contraction. No? Kasi yung bridge naman meron siyang expansion and contraction. So dapat yung ating conduit is ganun din. No? Installation on bridge uh, adjustment design to resist shear due to soil resettlement. No? Tapos conduit on bridges must be also effectively grounded. Then vicinity of manholes. So conduit entering manhole should be on compacted solid or otherwise supported to limit detrimental shear. So yan yun if our conduit is near the vicinity of manholes. Yun, so key points. So the recommended pre-zone for conduit in backfill is 150 mm. The reduced impact should cover greater than or equal to 900 mm. So the specifications for coated pipe must include corrosion resistant and yung kanyang coating is continuous throughout the whole pipe or the whole conduit. Then this must be seal, no? May seal yung ating conduit, no? Joints if those conduits are going through a walls to limit the entry of gases. Okay, so manholes, handholds, and vaults. So this is now pertaining to the manholes, the handholds, and the vaults on our underground supply lines. Okay, so strength, no, the strength of our manholes and handholds should be designed to sustain all expected load. Horizontal and vertical design load included load, live load, equipment load, impact load, and load due to water table. So dapat yung ating manhole or handhole could withstand no, dead load, yung mismong load no ng doon sa ating manhole no, yung kanyang bigat. Live load is the load by the operator o yung sa mga gagamit, yung papasok. Equipment load, if there is an equipment. Impact load, yung mga load that is due to the crossing of some heavy vehicles, no? Or load due to water table, if there is an accumulation of water above our manhole or handhole. So live load in roadways is considered the weight of the moving tractor or semi-trailer truck. So yung truck yung maximum na load na i-consider. For structures not subjected to vehicular loading, the design load is not less than 145 kilonewton. So ito yung load na ating i-consider. If the road is not or yung dadaanan o yung paglalagyan ng ating manhole is hindi siya subject to heavy traffic. So live loads increase by 30% for impact. So kung ano yung ating live load, i-multiply natin ng 30%, i-add natin ng 30%, so that will be now our live loads. So structure must withstand hydraulic uplift either by sufficient weight or restraint. So pulling iron facilities, if provided, should withstand twice the expected load. Okay, so key measurements natin. So the live load must be equal to a moving tractor or semi-trailer truck for roadway areas. If that is not a heavy traffic roadway, so 140 kilonewton, no, yung minimum. Tapos 30% to increase, and that is now our live load, no? Specific requirement for structures encountering hydraulic uplift, kasama rin yung mga pulling iron facilities, no? Should withstand the expected load. Tapos the variable spacing of manholes is 43 meters to 90 meters inclusive. So the distance between manholes and an underground supply system, a minimum is 43 meters, the maximum is 90 meters. Okay, the dimension. So the horizontal dimension of manhole, no, the clear working space shall not be less than 1.83 meters. The vertical also shall not be less than 1.83 meters except in a specific manhole. So the exception is if the one boundary is an unoccupied wall or the manholes with communication cables only. So pwede na siya na not less than 600 mm ang kanyang horizontal. Tapos provided na yung kanyang sum is at least 1.83 meters. No? Yung kanyang overall uh, perimeter is not less than 1.83 meters. Okay, so manhole access, so supply cable. So the access to supply cable sa ating manhole, so not less than 650 mm. For communication cable or with fixed ladder, so not less than 600 mm. Okay, so if our manhole is rectangular access, so the dimension must be 650 mm by 560 mm. So ito yung kanyang dimension, 650 mm by 560 mm. So safety considerations for manhole access: openings free of protrusions to ensure personal safety and quick egress. So yung kanyang mismong opening, walang mga sharp objects na pwedeng maaksidente yung ating mga qualified personnel na papasok sa ating manhole. Okay, so the location for the manhole access. So manhole opening should be located for safe access. In the highway, practical to be outside the paved roadway. So kung pwede nandun sa sidewalk, no? Or sa sa daanan ng tao, hindi dun sa daanan ng sasakyan, if possible, no? Outside intersection and crosswalks, whichever practical to reduce traffic hazard. So pwede din sa labas ng intersection or dun sa crosswalk, no? Sa may malapit dun sa sa mga pedestrian, no? Two, pero kapag nasa pedestrian na, so nagkakaroon din ng hazard kasi what if hindi na kayang i-withstand nung cover yung bigat ng dadaang mga tao. So may mangyayari, meron talagang mahulog sa ating manhole. So it is only recommended na malapit doon sa crosswalk na kung saan magkakaroon ng reduce to traffic, no, hazard, no. Okay, so K measurements. So the horizontal and vertical diameter of clear working space on manhole which will is 1.83 meters. No, the minimum round access openings for supply communication cables is 650 mm and 600 mm. No? So 650 ang kanyang diameter for supply, 600 mm for communication. That is for round na mga manhole. If rectangular access, so the dimension, the length is 650 mm and the width is 560 mm. Okay. So personal access opening, so located away from cables to avoid interference, no? So exceptions if safeguards are in place. So the safeguards must be visible, safety space, mayroon siya protective barrier, mayroong fixed ladder, tapos manholes deeper than 1.25 meter must allow access via a ladder or suitable climbing device, no? So either that is cable or hindi po kasama pala yung equipment, cable at hangers. So the cover, manholes and handholds when not in use must be securely closed by covers. So covers is designed to resist removal without tools. No, so dapat yung pwede lang ma-open yung mga cover ng ating manholes and handholds if there is specialized tools to be used, no? So basically, only the qualified person could access our manholes and handholds. Should be suitably restrained to prevent falling in the manholes or protruding far enough to contact cable or equipment. So dapat may siya tamang support so that walang mga taong mahuhulog sa manholes. Tapos it is also far enough doon sa cable natin na nasa ilalim. Okay, so vault and utility tunnel access. So access opening located for safe access, no, for our vault. Personal access opening avoid being directly over or into the equipment or cable, no. Other types of openings for work on, replacement, or installation of equipment may be located on the equipment itself. Then access doors to the utility tunnels and vault accessible to the public should be locked unless attended by qualified person. So ganun pa rin from chapter 2 up to chapter 4, the access on our vaults, no, our equipment should be only accessed by the qualified person. Then prominent safety signs, so dapat may safety signs kahit nasa ilalim yan ng lupa, no, yung ating mga vault at yung ating mga equipment, so dapat meron pa ring safety signs. So door design for exit from inside when locked from outside. So exception for padlock system. So the doors is designed, no, na yung exit, no, from the inside. So pwedeng makalabas, no. So papalabas yung door, no, hindi papasok, no. Okay, so clearance of energized parts. So ventilation opening on above ground vaults should have louvers or baffles to limit outside penetration. So ibig sabihin, meron siyang louvers or baffles, no, na kung saan hindi pwedeng makapasok ang moisture or small drops of water doon sa ating equipment. If not protected, energized parts and controls should have clearance from outside ventilation of our underground supply system. So the measurements, no, so the depth requirement for manholes, no, that is uh, na, na, na no need no, not no need na dapat meron ka ng ladder is 1.25 meters. So requirement for covers to resist easy removal and prevent contact with cables or equipment. No? The requirement is the covers cannot be removed without the using the proper tools. Then guidelines for clearance of energized parts from ventilation opening. So dapat maglalagay ka ng buffers and louvers. So ladder requirements, no? So the requirement of the ladders, fixed ladder must be corrosion resistant. Then portable ladder uses follows specified standard, no? In the standards of the ANSI. No, ibig sabihin nito, the ladder must be properly insulated. It could withstand the normal required load tapos meron siyang standard distance between each rung of the ladder. So yan yung nasa ANSI na standard. So drainage, no? Where drainage is into sewers, so yung drainage mismo ng ating supply system, no? In case na there will be seepage of water, no? So provide suitable traps or other means, tapos limit the likelihood of sewer gas entering manholes, no? So yung mga gases, no, galing sa sewer system, so must be limit, no, na papasok dun sa manhole, sa ating vaults or sa tunnels for our underground supply system. Okay, the ventilation. So adequate ventilation to open air required for manholes, vaults, and tunnels with opening into enclosed areas used by the public. In the ventilating system and enclosure housing transformer, switches should be clean at necessary intervals. So kasama yung cleaning of the ventilation system of our enclosures, no? Exception for enclosed areas underwater or impractical location. For example, our cables, no, or our underground supply system, no, is going through a body of water, so it is impractical, no, to um, maintain, no, our ventilation, no. Kasi tubig na sila ng tubig na yon. In mechanical protection, install or guard supply cables and equipment to prevent damage from pulling or push object to grating. So dapat meron tayong tawag doon, guard, no? So ang ibig sabihin ng guard is meron tayong equipment guarding to limit, no, the damage if in case may mahuhulog na mga gamit, no, galing sa taas or mayroong mga object na mahuhulog, no? Tapos that object will cause our equipment, no, if not guarded, to be damaged. Okay, so identification. Manhole and handhole covers should have an identifying mark indicating ownership or utility type. So dapat nakalagay yung indication kung sino yung may-ari ng manhole na yon at kung anong klase siya na utility. Is it an electric utility company or a communication utility company? So ito yung key points. So ladders must be corrosion resistant. Portable ladder usage compliant with the specified standard. So drainage measures to prevent sewer gas entries. Tapos adequate ventilation with periodic cleaning or maintenance. So there must be a mechanical protection for cables including also the equipment. Tapos mayroong identifying marks on manhole and handhole covers for ownership or utility type indication. Okay. Then we will now go to the supply cables. So supply cables tayo, no? So general, no, in general provision, design should withstand applicable loads following national and international standard. So the supply cable line must be able to withstand also, no, the loads, no, yung kanina, yung iba't ibang klase na loads kanina. So component designed to endure expected installation and stresses of the operation. So conductors, insulation, sheet, jacket, and shielding designed to handle mechanical and electrical stresses during installation and operation. So yung cable natin must be insulated, sheeted, jacketed, and shielded. Tapos kaya niyang ma-handle yung mechanical at electrical stress during the time it is installed and during the time it is operational. So cable integrity. So cable design must maintain the specified dimension and structural integrity during reeling, storage, handling, and installation. So the strength of the cable is coding its dimension, its sizes must be maintained, no, during the railing, no. So if nasa rail pa siya o nasa roll, tapos naka-store, handling and installation. So dapat during the railing na nasa sa rail pa siya, so dapat walang damage, no, doon sa insulation. When it comes to the storage, so pag labas na sa storage, dapat walang damage. It is now transferred, that's now handling to the specific part kung saan siya i-install, so dapat wala pa ring damage. And during the installation of that cables, wala ding damage. Okay, so component protection. So cable components designed to protect each other from harmful effects. Okay. Then fault currents. So conductor insulation and shielding designed to withstand expected magnitude and duration of fault currents. So ibig sabihin nito, yung ating conductors must have its insulation rating and shielding if in case nagkaroon ng fault, no? Current doon sa ating linya for underground supply system. So sheet and jackets. So it is provided when necessary to protect insulation or shielding from moisture or adverse environmental condition. So yung sheets at jackets, so that is used to protect insulation or to shield, no, our cable from moisture or adverse environmental conditions. So shielding, no? So in general, shielding must be the conductor and insulation shielding as specified by applicable documents, no? So anong mga accepted na mga materials for to be used, no, for shielding do sa ating cable. So not required for shoot jumpers not in contact with a grounded surface within the enclosure or vaults if guarded or isolated. So the material, so shielding system may include semiconductor materials, non-magnetic or both. The shielding adjacent to insulation designed to maintain um, intimate contact under the operation conditions. Then materials must resist excessive corrosion or must be protected from corrosion. Okay, so these are the summary, no, um, ng mga provisions kanina. So cable is designed to meet the national and international standards. So the component must able to withstand mechanical and electrical stresses. Then the cable integrity is to be maintained during the handling and the installation process. Then the component design of our cable system must be able to protect each other from damage, must have the ability to withstand fault currents. Sheets and jackets should be provided for environmental protection. Tapos, shielding considerations. Okay, so shielding considerations must be included, no, if it is based on international standards and national standards. So shielding material must be designed to resist corrosion or be adequately protected. Okay, so design requirements. So for the cable accessories and joints, so they must be able to endure mechanical, thermal, environmental, and electrical stress during operation. So protection of the components of our cable system or the supply system. So the design, no, and the construction should ensure each component of the cable and joint is shielded. So itong term, naka-shield siya from harmful effects of other components. Then the structural integrity of our cable accessories and joints should be designed to maintain the structural integrity of the cables they are applied to. Then fault current endurance, no? So designed to withstand the magnitude and the duration of expected fault currents during the operation, no? Yung ating mga cable accessories and components. No? Yung ating mga joints for the cable, no? Yung mga solders doon. So dapat it must be able to withstand the fault current, no? Exception, immediate vicinity of the fault, no? If the cause of the fault is also the accessories, no? So exempted na, no? So it is we know that if that is the cause of the fault, so whatever the limit that it could not withstand, so talaga hindi yan ma-withstand kasi sobrang taas ng current when it comes to fault, no? Okay, so that will be the last slide, no, for the our topic on chapter 4, no, safety rules for installation and maintenance of underground supply lines and communication cables. Okay? So ngayon, we will take siguro 15-minute break. So balik tayo ng 9 a.m. for our test, no? Session 8 test. Na again, if sino man yung maging highest will receive a special prize, no? So I will be also sending the link, no? The link, no, na ano nyo, i-click nyo to be able to join. So I hope na okay yung connection ng internet, no, in your part. Okay? Yan. So we'll resume, no? We'll resume at 9 a.m. 9 a.m. 9 p.m. pala. Bukas na mag-resume. 9 p.m. no? Okay, so we'll take a 15-minute break. So resume 9 a.m. 9 p.m. So I hope na pag ano na yung lahat nakapag-join na, no? Okay? So let's have here our first question. So what grounding method should be followed for underground circuits and equipment? So ito po yung mga choices natin. So 45 seconds to answer. Okay, so the correct answer is letter A, no? So those detailed in Article 1.4. Yan, kasi yung Article 1.4 pertains to the grounding system, no, of whole distribution and communication system, no? Okay? So lahat kayo nakakuha ng tamang sagot. So lahat is tingnan natin kung sino yung may pinakamabilis kasi yun ang kukuha ng ng 1,000 points. Okay. Yan. So tingin ko lahat na yun, hindi pala lahat. Okay, next question. So which parts must be effectively grounded according to Article 4? So alin daw dito yung dapat naka-ground, no? Or effectively grounded. Okay. So the correct answer is letter C. Yan. So lahat din nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Ang mahigpit ang laban ngayon, no? Kasi yung dalawang first two questions, so the first two questions tama lahat, no? Okay? So yan po yung ating mga score. Okay, next question. So according to Article 4, when is the use of earth as part of circuit permitted? Yan. So the choices, always, only during emergency, only on monopolar operational of bipolar HVDC system, or never. Okay, so the correct answer is letter C. Yan. So 50%. So ibig sabihin half yung nakakuha ng tamang sagot. So only for monopolar operation of bipolar HVDC system na yung earth could be used as ground for underground supply line. Okay, so tingnan natin yung nakakuha ng tamang sagot. yung mga points. Okay, yan. Okay, next. So yung passing to pala is 14,000 points. So when are communication protective requirements necessary? Yan. Choices? Okay. So the correct answer is letter C, no? So lahat ay nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Tingnan natin yung ating leaderboard. If sino yung top 1, yun. So same pa rin yung top 1 natin, no? Dalawa yung ating top 1, si Sir Brian at si Sir Reggie. Okay? Next question. So what means of protection is recommended for communication lines exposed to lightning or transient ground potential rise? Okay, so the correct answer is letter C. No, protective means ensuring insulation can withstand the expected voltage. Yan. Yun, si Sir Reggie pa rin at si Sir Brian yung nasa top 1. Okay? Next. So what should be avoided when routing conduit system to minimize disturbance? Okay, the correct answer is, so letter B, direct placement over or under subsurface structures. Tuloy, may nabago na ba? So, ganun pa rin po yung ating top 1, no? So, itong dalawa is wala pa po silang wrong, no? Wala pa po silang mali sa ating sixth question. So, ngayon, this is question number 7. So, according to Article 4, what is the minimum depth requirement for conduit under railroad tracks for street railways? A. So, the correct answer is letter, so letter B, which is 1.27 meters, no? Yan. So, yun, may nabago na po yung ating top 1. Okay, next. So, what should communication conduits be separated from supply conduits? So, how should it be separated? Okay, the correct answer is, so letter D, no, separation by 300 mm in well-tamped earth. Okay, next. So, what must the ducts and joints of the conduit system be designed to limit? Okay, so the correct answer is so letter A, no, solid matter entry. And okay, next. So what should manhole and handhole covers have for identification according to Article 4 of the PEC Part 2? Okay, so the correct answer is so letter B, identifying marks indicating ownership or utility. Yan. So, yun, madikit-dikit yung laban natin, no? From 1 to 5. Okay? Next. According to Article 4, what must conduit system minimize when located in unstable soil? Okay, so the correct answer is letter A, movement or corrosion. Tingnan natin kung sino yung nakakuha ng mga tamang sagot. Yan. So, nabago na po yung ating kapalit na yung ano, tingin ko top 2 at top 3, no? So, may nag-tie sa fourth. Okay, next question. So, what should manhole and handhole covers be designed to resist? So, parang ano, balik na yata yung question na to. Hindi yata. Hindi pala. Okay, so the correct answer is So letter A, AC removal. Ayan. So humahabol. Oh, ano na, nagbago na yung ating top 1 pala, no? Sir Rinaldo na po yung ating top 1. Okay, next. So what is the purpose of ventilation openings in above ground faults according to Article 4? Okay, so the correct answer is letter C. So limit outside penetration. No? Kahit may ventilation opening, so the ventilation opening must also limit the outside penetration. Okay, next. So, bago na pala yung ating top 1. According to PEC Part 2, 2020, what is the depth requirements for access to manholes? Okay, the correct answer is letter B. So 1.25 meters. Yan. Leading po ngayon no, si Sir Noel. Okay, next. So what is the primary purpose of conducting practical tests to underground lines? Okay, so the correct answer is letter B. So determined by the required maintenance. Okay, Yan. So, ganun pa rin yung ating top 1, no? Tapos, yung top 2 natin, humahabol. Nasa mga, 900 yung lamang ni top 1 kay top 2. Okay, next, what is the purpose of surge arresters in underground electrical lines according to Article 4? Okay, so the correct answer is, so letter B, protect against lightning and surges. Okay, so tingnan natin kung sino pa rin yung top 1. Yan. So, ganun pa rin ang ating leaderboard. Okay, next. In which situation is the use of earth as part of the circuit permitted? So, based on Article 4 exceptions. So, parang bumalik na ito yung question na to. No? Pero iba yung choices. Okay, so the correct answer is, so only during emergencies. Yan. Okay, so ganun pa rin. Oh, nagbago na, no? So, nagbago yung top 2 at top 3. Pero ganun pa rin yung top 1. Next question. Ano na lang, 5 questions na lang yung natitira. According to Article 4, what should conduit system minimize when located in unstable soils or corrosive environments? Yan. Okay, so the correct answer is, so letter A, no movement or corrosion. Okay, yan. So, pa rin, no? yung ating top 1 at yung ating top 2. Okay, next. So how should abandoned underground lines and equipment be handled according to the established safety guidelines? Okay, correct answer is letter C, no? Remove following safety guidelines. Yan. Okay, yan. So, last question, no? For this test. So, tingnan natin if makakahabol pa ba yung si top 2, no? Kay top 1. Okay? So, according to PEC PAR 2020, what should manholes openings be located for in highways? Okay, so the correct answer is letter D, no? Yan. D yung tamang sagot. Traffic hazards reduction. So, tingnan natin sino yung nanalo sa gabing ito at yung may pinakamalataas na sagot. So, si Mr. Noel Harabilo, no, with 15,834 points, followed by Sir Rinaldo with 15,791. So, konti lang yung konti lang yung tawag doon, yung difference, no? And followed by Sir Reggie. Okay, yan. Okay, so Sir Noel, so kindly message to me your number, no? GCash number for your prize. Okay? Yan. So that will be the end of our discussion this evening, no? So I hope may natutunan kayo ngayon, no? All about the safety rules, no? For supply safety rules for underground supply equipment and communication.